Have you ever felt like you were at rock bottom? Like everything around you was falling apart and every attempt to get back up was in vain? Maybe you've wondered if there's really a way out, or if, somehow, you were destined to remain there, struggling against an uncontrollable tide. These moments can feel lonely and endless, but the truth is they are universal. We all go through difficulties. We all face falls that make us question our strength, our purpose, and even who we are. And if you're going through this now, I want you to know something. That feeling of being at the bottom is not the end. On the contrary, it's the starting point for your transformation. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and think about this. Inside you, there's a strength you may not have discovered yet. A hidden courage, waiting for the right moment to emerge. And it's this strength that we're going to awaken together. Now, let's dive into an ancient but incredibly powerful story to better understand how this courage can be awakened. This is where the secret of the Valkyries comes in. In Norse mythology, the Valkyries are imposing and mysterious figures. These warrior women were not mere spectators of battles. They played a crucial role in the fate of warriors. They decided who would live and who would perish in combat. But what's most interesting about the Valkyries wasn't their connection to death, but what they represented on a deeper level. Hidden courage. The Valkyries didn't choose the strongest or most feared warriors. They saw beyond the surface, beyond physical strength. What guided their choices was something far more powerful and subtle. They recognized hidden courage, that inner strength that arises in the most difficult moments when everything seems lost. The Valkyries saw value in those who, even after a fall, were willing to get up and fight again. This mythology reminds us that true strength isn't in appearance or visible achievements. It resides within us, in that invisible point that drives us to keep going, even when the world seems to have given up on us. Now, think for a moment. What if you could access that hidden courage within you? What if, like the Valkyries, you could see beyond your failures and recognize your true strength? The one that doesn't falter with falls but rises stronger every time. We all fall at some point. Whether it's because of a wrong decision, an unexpected obstacle, or a failure that seemed impossible to avoid, falls are an inevitable part of our journey. But there's something we often forget. The fall is not an end but a crucial point on the path to growth. Think about it. The greatest moments of transformation in our lives rarely come from times of comfort or ease. They arise, more often than not, after moments of great adversity. It's when we're on the ground, facing our greatest fears, doubts, and insecurities, that we have the opportunity to rediscover ourselves. The fall forces us to confront who we really are and what we are capable of enduring. In today's society, there is great pressure to avoid failure at all costs. But the truth is that falling is part of being human. Everyone, without exception, goes through failures, disappointments, and challenges. What defines our path, however, is not the number of times we fall but the willingness to get up each time. When the Valkyries looked at fallen warriors, they didn't see defeat. They saw potential courage, the ability of a warrior to rise stronger, wiser, more prepared. And just like the warriors of ancient battles, you also have the opportunity to rise from each fall, more prepared to face what's to come. The secret isn't in avoiding falls but in learning from each of them. Every mistake, every setback is a disguised lesson, an opportunity to discover new strength within yourself. True failure isn't in the fall, but in giving up on trying. The true secret of the Valkyries lies in how they viewed the world. For them, courage wasn't visible in times of peace or easy victories. The hidden courage, the one that truly mattered, only emerged in the midst of the fall, the pain, and the struggle to continue. It was this silent, almost invisible courage that the Valkyries valued above all. This hidden courage exists within each of us. But often we don't realize it until we are challenged to face it. It's in the darkest moments, when everything seems to fall apart, when we are at the bottom, that this inner strength begins to emerge. Hidden courage isn't about having no fear, but about recognizing the fear and still moving forward. Just as the Valkyries recognized this strength in fallen warriors, you too have the ability to identify this courage within yourself. Every time you face a challenge, a disappointment, or a failure, you have the chance to awaken this hidden courage and let it lift you up. What the Valkyries teach us is that true power isn't something external. It's not about being the physically strongest or never failing. It's about the inner strength, the one that only reveals itself when everything seems lost. It's about the ability to rise after every fall and keep moving forward, even when the path seems impossible. Hidden courage is silent but powerful. It's always present, waiting for the moment to be revealed. And it's this courage that can lift you time and time again, no matter how many times you've fallen. Just like the Norse warriors, you also have this strength within you, waiting to be discovered. Now that we understand the power of hidden courage and have seen examples of overcoming, it's time to bring this into our daily lives. How can we awaken this inner strength when we face our own falls? Below are some practical tools you can apply at any time, especially when challenges seem insurmountable. Accept the fall but don't give up. The first step to awakening courage is to accept the fall. This might seem contradictory, but it's essential. When you deny or resist failure, you miss the opportunity to learn from it. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing that the fall is part of the growth process. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to understand that the mistake or failure doesn't define you. They are just a part of your journey. Focus on the next step, not the end of the journey. When facing great adversity, it's easy to be paralyzed by the size of the problem. The key here is to break the challenge into smaller parts. Ask yourself, what is the next step I can take? Often, we get stuck in the fear of not being able to solve everything at once, but the truth is, you only need to focus on what comes next. Small, consistent steps lead to great victories over time. Seek a greater purpose. Falls are easier to bear when you're connected to a greater purpose. Think about what truly matters to you. Why are you fighting? What motivates you? When you have a clear reason to keep going, the pain of the fall lessens. Remember that even the greatest leaders like Mandela and Malala kept their courage alive because they were committed to something beyond themselves. Practice self-compassion. It's important to be kind to yourself during moments of falling. Often, we are our harshest critics, and that inner voice can stop us from finding the courage to rise. Practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would speak to a dear friend going through difficulties. You deserve the same support and care that you would offer to others. Cultivate resilience daily. Resilience is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. One way to cultivate resilience is by adopting a growth mindset. Instead of seeing failures as endpoints, see them as learning opportunities. Every day you can work on building your inner strength, whether through meditation, reflection, or simply recognizing small victories along the way. Each of these tools is a way to awaken the courage that is already within you. Just as the Valkyries saw the strength of fallen warriors, you can learn to see your own strength, even in the most difficult moments. These practices will help you cultivate that strength every day. Awakening hidden courage is a process that starts with self-knowledge. Understanding who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and what drives you is fundamental to accessing this courage in moments of adversity. The Valkyries, with their mythological wisdom, didn't choose randomly. They knew how to identify the true essence of fallen warriors. Similarly, you need to learn to recognize what's deepest inside you. But how can we develop self-knowledge? Here are some ways to start this journey. Reflect on your past experiences. Think about the difficulties you've already faced and how you reacted to them. What did you learn from those moments? Often, we don't realize how resilient we are until we reflect on the battles we've already overcome. When you realize how you've already overcome challenges before, your confidence in your ability to overcome future obstacles grows. Identify your strengths. Take inventory of your qualities and skills. What do you do well? What characteristics have helped you overcome challenges before? Recognizing and valuing your strengths is crucial to knowing how to use them when necessary. It might be your ability to adapt, your empathy, your persistence. These qualities are the tools you can use in tough times. Understand your fears and limitations. Part of self-knowledge is recognizing your fears and limitations. This doesn't mean surrendering to them, but understanding them. When you know your fears, you can learn to deal with them in a healthier way. Fear, when ignored, can paralyze us, but when faced head-on, it can make us stronger. ask yourself, what am I really afraid of here? The answer often reveals valuable lessons about yourself. Conduct an honest self-assessment. Be honest with yourself about where you are in your journey. What areas of your life need more attention? Are there patterns you need to break? Self-knowledge requires humility, and recognizing our areas of growth is an important part of the process. This honesty gives you the clarity needed to chart new paths. Seek feedback from those close to you. Sometimes those around us see things about us that we can't. Ask trusted friends, family, or colleagues what they believe to be your greatest strengths and areas that could be developed. This external perspective can offer valuable insights for your growth. Self-knowledge is the foundation for awakening your hidden courage, because only when you truly understand who you are can you access the strength that already exists within you. As you dive deeper into yourself, you will realize that the falls do not define your path. They are just turning points that help you understand your true essence. The more you know yourself, the clearer it becomes that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. And it's at this point of self-discovery that hidden courage begins to bloom, ready to lift you after every fall. Now I want to speak directly to you. You've been through a lot. And even if you're still facing difficulties, I want you to know that inside you is a strength greater than you imagine. Yes, I'm talking about your hidden courage. The same courage the Valkyries saw in fallen warriors. It's there, ready to be awakened, waiting for the moment when you finally realize your true potential. Perhaps you haven't felt it fully yet, and that's normal. Often, it only reveals itself in the moments of greatest need, when everything seems against you. But here's the truth. You don't have to wait until you're at rock bottom to find this strength. You can start accessing it now, every day, with every challenge life presents. You have the power to get back up. You have the ability to turn each fall into a stepping stone to something greater. Life won't stop testing us, but greatness isn't about never falling. True greatness lies in getting back up stronger, wiser, more determined. Remember, the Valkyries didn't choose the physically strongest, but those who, despite the falls, refused to give up. And just like those warriors, you also have the ability to rise and keep going. The courage you seek is already within you. It's not something that needs to be earned or sought externally. It's something you already possess. Now make a commitment to yourself. When challenges arise, and they will, rather than giving in, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I get back up stronger? Because life will test your determination, but it will also offer you countless opportunities to discover the strength you have. If you fall 10 times, get up 11. If the path seems impossible, take it one step at a time. Because the real battle isn't about avoiding the falls, but about getting back up after each one. The Valkyrie within you is waiting for the moment to awaken. And when you finally find that hidden courage, nothing will be able to stop you. Now that you know the secret of the Valkyries and the power of hidden courage, I want to leave you with one final thought. The falls you face today don't determine who you are. They are part of your journey, and each one has the potential to reveal the incredible strength that already lies within you. What will you do with that strength? Will you allow the falls to define your story, or will you use them as stepping stones to something greater? The decision is in your hands. Every challenge is a new opportunity to rise stronger, more prepared, more resilient. My message to you is simple. Never underestimate the power of hidden courage within you. That strength is what will allow you to rise after every fall, to keep moving forward even when the path seems impossible. You have the power to turn your falls into victories, to inspire others, and to grow beyond your own expectations. Now I invite you to take action. Think of someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's going through a tough time. Share this video with that person and be the encouragement they need to awaken the hidden courage within them. Also, apply these lessons to your own life. When you face challenges, remember the Valkyries, remember the power you have, and choose to rise time and time again. You are stronger than you imagine. Every fall is a new chance to show the world, and yourself, what you're made of. Before we part, I want to thank you for making it this far. By listening to this message, you've taken an important step toward awakening your own courage. The fact that you're here, reflecting on your journey and your falls, already shows that you're ready to rise and go beyond. Believe in you. I know that, just as the Valkyries saw courage in fallen warriors, there is extraordinary strength within you, waiting to be fully revealed. When challenges come, and they will, remember that the true battle is in getting back up, because every time you do, you come closer to your strongest and most authentic self. Now, if you felt inspired by this message, if something inside you was touched, I invite you to continue this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel, share this content with those who need this inspiration, and together, let's build a community of people who believe in the power of hidden courage. With each video, each story, let's remind ourselves that we are capable of much more than we imagine, that our falls do not define us. They are merely the prelude to our greatest victories. Thank you for being here. And remember, the Valkyrie within you is always ready to rise, no matter how many times you fall. Until next time.